Hi, it's Carter, the president of Constitutional Rights PAC, sitting out here on really a cold, rainy April day. It's hard to believe it's springtime. Sure doesn't feel like it. Look at that out there, the water on the street. Reflected. It doesn't this time of year. And what I want to talk to you about is maybe a little ugly too, because I got a call from a longtime Washington hand, good guy. And he was saying, asking me, what's the primary difference between Constitutional Rights PAC and the other, what I call them Washington Inc. organizations, conservative organizations that are functioning in Washington now. And I'm just going to be blunt with you about it, just like I was with him. Good guy. CRPAC, Constitutional Rights PAC, is gloves off, bare knuckle. Okay, we believe that the November 5th election in this country is existential. If we fail, if we lose the presidency to toxic Joe Biden or whoever else the Democrats stick in there, if we fail to gain 10 to 20 seats in the House, 4 or 5, maybe 6 in the Senate, this country is in mortal danger. I'm just going to say it. And most of the conservative organizations, some of which, I got to tell you, have hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank now. What are they doing? Having cruises and having these fests that they're constantly having, which make money for them, where they have they pay each other, the heads of the groups pay each other to come and speak. I'm sorry, that's what they do. Ain't making it. That kind of talk, I was going to say it's cheap, but it's not cheap because they pay each other a fortune to come and talk at each other's fests or whatever they call them, their little conventions and conferences. And they don't do a thing. They don't do a thing. CRPAC is getting ready to spearhead the effort to get rid of Mitch McConnell as minority leader. Get rid of him now. The reason he wants to wait till November 5th is so that he can destroy the election, the upcoming Senate elections, the way he did in 2020 by refusing to fund MAGA candidates. That's the whole reason. So he's got to go now. He's got to go now. And we got to put a little bit more steel in Mr. Johnson, to the House, Speaker of the House backbone. And we don't see any of that from these conservative organizations. Think about it. Think about what they're doing that really has an impact at one of the most crucial times in our country's history. And let me tell you why it's so crucial, okay? Because of one word, and that is democracy. The Democrats, in order to prevent the Republicans from having a big win, and they got cooperation from McCarthy in the House and McConnell in the Senate to do this, in the election of 2022 rather, hit on this word: we have to preserve democracy. How many times here Joe Biden, democracy, man, Trump is a threat to democracy. Anybody who disagrees with Biden is a threat to democracy. Remember his Reichstag fire speech on September 1st, 2022, where he said anybody who disagreed with him was a MAGA domestic terrorist, white supremacist, and a threat to democracy. Well, let me tell you what they mean, him and Nancy Pelosi. Yes, it's preserve democracy. Let me tell you what they really mean by democracy. They mean to turn America into Honduras North. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I have a home in Honduras. My wife is from Honduras, and I've lived in Honduras. So I know a little bit of how Honduran democracy works. And this is what their plan is. Their idea of democracy is you have pro forma elections, like the election of 2020. That was a pro forma election. There was no way Trump was going to win. It was totally rigged with the absentee ballots and the lack of voter ID. I'm in Pennsylvania. the governor of this state, against the law of the state, actually ruled out signature verification on absentee ballots. He did the double whammy. So that's what they did with everything they put together in 2020 in order to rig that election. The totally fraudulent absentee ballots that would come in the middle of the night in the drop boxes, and the lack of signature verification. And now Mary Kimmler has already announced that they're going to push for less signature verification and more absentee ballots in 2024. Well, that's part of their idea of democracy. What you have is a uniparty in Honduras. So the people in Honduras actually do get a vote. As a matter of fact, their vote is more honest than it is here, because it has to be in person, and you have to have voter ID, and they put a purple mark on your finger, so you can't vote more than once. And so you can vote, but it doesn't matter, because the country is run by the uniparty that takes turns on who's going to be president, and each has the same policy as the other. And that's what they mean in this country now, the left, by democracy. Yes, you can vote, so we're a democracy. But the ruling elite then do whatever they damn well please. That's where we are now. And that's why the election of Donald J. Trump and getting a real MAGA majority in the Senate and the House is so important. It is our last chance. Let me say that again, and please read my lips. It is our last chance. The deep state will never allow anyone like Donald Trump to emerge again if we lose this time, because we will become a democracy where your vote means nothing. So that's what CRPAC is fighting for. That's what differentiates us. That's why we're screening congressional candidates. That's why we put together the Trump Victory PAC, because we have to win this time or we lose forever. So help us do this thing.